food is more than calories. Food is information for our bodies, and all these micronutrients can help us turn on or off disease. So again, the more colors we eat, the better we're going to boost our immune system and our health.
There are opportunities for our work and careers everywhere, if you know where to look. That's easier said than done, especially in our fast-paced and constantly changing world. Ann Faremouth is talking to experts, employers, and job seekers to bring you insight and understanding about what's possible. This is Career Can Do, where we're navigating the new work world.
Welcome to the Career Can Do podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping you navigate the new work world. My name is Ann Faremouth. I'm a recruiter, career coach, author, and speaker. And today I am just delighted to have a guest on my show that is really making a difference with her information that is so helpful and offers integrative assistance to those in the new work world and even beyond. With a background in corporate marketing in the oil and gas sector and 12 years as the Honorary Consul General of Bolivia, Diana Galindo is a nutritional therapist, highly motivated to help people improve their mental fitness and protect their brain from neurodegenerative diseases. Adequate nutrition is key for mental and physical health, and we need all of that so much these days in the workplace. Without further ado, let me introduce Deanna Galindo. Deanna, say hello to everybody.
Hello. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to share this incredibly important information.
Well, we are so happy to have you on the show. You know, as a recruiter for many, many years, I know some of the challenges employers and employees are having and have been having the last couple, 2-3 years. And I think your information is going to be so helpful to those out there to try to get in better health, get in better shape, everywhere they can, ways that can help them become more productive in the workforce. So tell us, Deanna, how you got started and what made you get into this kind of work.
Well, as you mentioned, I was kind of parallel working in the marketing sector in oil and gas and as Honorary Consul General. So really long hours, really stressful, very exciting time in my life. And then my father was diagnosed with Parkinson's. He was an incredibly brilliant man, a walking encyclopedia. He was a historian and author. In Bolivia, he fought for democracy most of his career. He became a congressman, a senator, and it was just devastating to see the disease advance. I did so much research trying to find anything we could do to slow down the progress of the disease, and I learned a lot about food and the brain. And over the years, in the last few years, so much exciting information has come out that was not available at the time. We are now learning that food is connected to mood. Our gut health is linked to our brain health. We are learning there are key essential nutrients for our brain. And even now we're learning Alzheimer's can be preventable, as well as we can slow down our risks of Parkinson's. So now it's too late for my father. And it's that heartache that gives me the passion, and I'm on a mission to help others avoid neurodegenerative diseases and really improve their mental health.
Well, I applaud you for taking on this endeavor, and I somehow can relate to you in a little different way of how I saw someone close to me have a real challenging time and try to help others with what I have experienced like you're doing. But, you know, Deanna, with all the stress that, you know, all of us are dealing with in the new work world and just with new pandemics, global issues, different things, talk to us about, we talked in the Blue Room today a little bit about some of the food groups, some of the rainbow groups, as you call them, that can really help us. You know, we talked about this too. My grandfather was almost 100 when he died, and my grandmother was almost 90, and Wow. They ate mainly out of their garden. So tell us about some of these food groups that you think can really help us live a long and healthy life.
Yeah, well, if we think back to the way humans have always eaten during our time on this planet, for most of human history, we ate food straight from Mother Nature. And those are really the foods that we need to come back to. These give us our stable energy throughout the day. They improve our focus, our cognitive function, our memory, and these foods lower inflammation. The general categories are your leafy greens and the cruciferous vegetables. These are your cauliflower, broccoli, coleslaw, cabbage, which you can make in any number of coleslaw ways. That's one of my favorites. But they're also the rainbow foods, as you mentioned. We think of carbs as flour or rice or pasta, but really the carbs the human body knows how to really use are the colorful vegetables that come from the ground. So sweet potatoes, broccoli. The more colors we eat, the more nutrients we'll give our body. Fish is incredibly rich, and meats as well, sustainably sourced meats. If we don't want to eat meats, then we really need to think about beans are a wonderful source, nuts and seeds. So there are some general categories that then we can go to and eat our favorite foods out of these categories. The goal is to really find a macronutrient balance between your proteins, your healthy fats, and your carbs from nature, and then also your micronutrients. So this comes primarily, again, in our plant foods. So the more colors we eat, the healthier our bodies are going to be.
To make sure that I understand, is my grandmother was a big proponent on, eat beets, Marianne. Beets are so good for you. I think, yuck, I don't like beets. But now I see they have beet powder. Beets are everywhere you look, and purple cabbage. So is that what you're talking about? Things like that are the colorful rainbow kinds of vegetables?
This is what's so exciting is you can try new foods and try them in new ways. For example, I was never a beet fan either, but I learned to eat raw shredded beets, and you put them into your salads and they're really different. Or you can puree them and then you can make pancakes. We do these blender pancakes with my daughter, and those are her absolute favorites. So you can pick within each color category the fruits and vegetables that you like the most, and then try them in new ways. Roast them, steam them, saute them. Just really explore. Food is more than calories. Food is information for our bodies, and all these micronutrients can help us turn on or off disease. So again, the more colors we eat, the better we're going to boost our immune system and our health.
Well, I think boosting our immune system right now is front and center for all of us with all these variants we're hearing about. And, there's all this talk right now, Deanna, about vegan. We should be a vegan. Tell us what your thoughts are about that. Do you think that that's a more healthy way to eat, or what does that mean exactly?
Well, vegans generally try to eat only from the plant world. And the most important thing to think about is rather than following a diet or rather than thinking about even eating healthy, ask, am I getting the nutrients my body needs? Am I nourishing my body? Am I getting the right balance of macronutrients, proteins, carbs from nature, and healthy fats? Your healthy fats are avocado, coconut, nuts, eggs, even our sustainably sourced animal meats. And the other big question is, am I getting sufficient micronutrients? Because we know about our vitamins, but there are 13 essential minerals, magnesium, iron, zinc, incredibly important for our immune system that unfortunately, most Americans are deficient in. And then our phytochemicals, this is a really exciting new area where these are chemical compounds in plants that give them their colors. It's what gives the red cabbage, the grape, their color, the sweet potatoes. The more of those micronutrients we get, the better our immune system and our brain function. These are being marketed now under the names of flavonoids, carotenoids, but we really want to get them from nature because the intelligence of nature and our human body is eating them all in combination. That's what's really going to give us an energy force field for health.
I'm just so excited to have you on the show because, I consider myself what we call a holistic recruiter. By that, I mean, I look at the whole person and I look at just not resume and a job description and slap them together, but who that person is and what they're going through. But that brings me to something else. With a lot of candidates that I've heard about these days that have suffered from COVID or a variant, is it even after the fact more important for them to get these different rainbow vegetables or different things you're talking about into their system because it can help them kind of keep that immune system a little stronger? Or how does that all work?
There's definitely a significance. Unfortunately, we've seen the United States has had such a dramatic impact on COVID, more so than some of the other developed nations. And unfortunately, it's because we have so many chronic diseases. Many people have either diabetes or cardiovascular, or our health was already weakened coming into the pandemic. So this has shown us it's more important than ever to really eat for our health, eat for our optimal health. And it's your nuts, your seeds, your beans. Again, the more plant foods you get, I would invite everybody just to write down how many plant foods did you get in a day. And you can include your spices, which are incredibly powerful nutrients, our herbs. And when we think about our plants, we're eating leaves, roots, any part of the plant. And then think about how many colors am I eating? Every meal, you want to have at least 3 or 4 colors on your plate.
So if somebody's listening to this podcast and they're thinking, I have been home and have a hybrid job. I'm home 3 days a week, at the office 2 days. And when I'm home, maybe I'm eating junk food or whatever. And hey, maybe I need to get with this Deanna woman and see what I can do to get my program a little bit better laid out here. Do you do coaching, or do you talk with people about how to talk to them about their particular situation and help them with food plans and things like that, Deanna?
Absolutely. Through my website, you can sign up. I do a free class every Thursday at 10 a.m. It's a 45-minute free class on eating for your brain health. And I alternate that with how do we get our kids to eat more vegetables and fruits, because that's at the end of the day a life lesson for them. The better health habits we can give them now, the better their health is going to be today and for the rest of their life, really giving them a foundation for good food choice habits. So I do a free class, I do cooking classes online, and I am also do a 5-week detox and reset class. This is really all about helping you connect to your own body, figure out what foods work best for you. We do it in a group support. Again, I do this online. And then as you mentioned, I also do one-on-one nutritional coaching so that we can really help people find their way to their very best health using food and hopefully maybe even weaning off some of the pharmaceuticals.
Okay. Well, going back to that word integrative, though, if somebody was to come to you and say, Deanna, this job I have right now is so stressful. They've let 3 go in our department. We're really shorthanded. I'm working 10, 12 hours a day. My stress level is really, really not good. In addition to telling them how to eat right, how to eat better, how to eat more healthy, do you suggest to them that they do any kind of mindfulness practices, any kind of meditation, any kind of yoga, any kind of exercise? I mean, do you try to integrate with also things that might help their spirit to get a little calmed down?
Yes, nutritional therapy really looks at nourishing the whole body. So this means looking at our breathing, looking at helping people find some mindfulness practice. For some people, it may be walking out in nature. It may be a pet. It's really helping each person find what's going to really help lower their stress level and to really bring down. When we reduce our stress, we also reduce inflammation in our body, and it really boosts our immune system. So that's incredibly important. Having a good sleep routine, a good sleep protocol is proving ever more important. And as you mentioned, moving our body. So it's not necessarily about getting exercise, but are we, moving our body by even just stretching or just walking around the block or taking the stairs instead of the elevator or parking farther away from the grocery store door. We tend to circulate and look for the closest parking spot to the grocery store, even if we just park further away. Any little movement we can add into our day is going to definitely help us. The other wonderful thing is just really learning to detox our body through some salt baths, which are also very calming, dry brushing our body that really boosts our immune system because it really circulates the lymphatic system. So yes, it's very much looking at how can we nourish our whole body, boost our physical, our emotional, and our mental health.
Real quick, the dry brushing. I've never heard of that before. What is that exactly? It sounds pretty interesting.
Dry brushing is actually a very ancestral tradition in some parts of the world. And before your shower, it's ideal if you could do this every day. But honestly, even if we do it once a week, it would be really significant. You can buy these very natural brush, even at most of the grocery stores now in their organic section have them, or on Amazon. And you just brush, you start at your extremities. You start at your leg and you brush upward towards your heart. You start at your arms and you brush upward towards your heart. And our lymphatic system is a critical part of our immune system, but it has no circulation like our bloodstream does. So by dry brushing, we help move the lymphatic system, which helps take out the toxins and takes out the waste from our body. And it just really stimulates and improves and again, boosts the immune system.
I think that's wonderful. I've never heard of that before. And, the other thing, I'm so thrilled to have Deanna on my show. I met her several years ago in a writing class, and I was just so impressed with her. She has a wonderful blog that she writes on, and there's so much helpful information. Tell people where they can go to. I think they can sign up for your blog, too. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. If you go to colormyfood.com, there you can click on free classes. And then if you click on offerings, it'll take you through some of the other offerings that I have, including we could do a discovery call to figure out if you are struggling with some health issues or mental health issues, and especially, then we can look at how we can work together to give you a nutritional plan. Again, as I mentioned, very holistic and finding a way that works for you. The big thing in nutritional therapy is the idea of bio-individuality. There is no one size fits all. It's really figuring out what works for your own body, physically, emotionally, and mentally.
No, I think that's wonderful. And if we had to give our listeners 2 important tips for their overall well-being, as a nutritional therapist, what would those, you can even put 3 in there if you want to, but what would those important tips be that people can take away with them? I mean, this has been wonderful. And I've learned so much myself just having you on the show that I didn't even know about. But tell us a couple, 2 or 3 tips that you think will really help people going forward. And navigating our new work world, it's different now. It is different. And pre-COVID and post-COVID are 2 different things. And so the more information I can provide my listeners to help them become better and more healthy in the new work world, it's important to do. So can you give us a couple tips?
Yeah, the first one is to think about eating foods from nature the way humans have always eaten. And think, instead of thinking about healthy, think about, again, nourishing my body. Instead of calories, think nutrient density. Nutrient density means more nutrients per calorie. These are your vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, and obviously your macronutrients. And that includes water. Water is the #1 nutritional deficiency in the U.S. And it reduces, even a 1% dehydration can impact our ability to focus. It's the brain fog a lot of us have experienced. So drinking your water. So think of food as information, not calories. And think of food coming straight from nature. The more food we get straight from nature, the better our bodies will be. The second key idea is that there is no one diet for everyone, paleo, keto, vegan. It's really figuring out what foods work best for you. And you can figure this out by knowing how you feel. There's a whole new field coming out called nutritional psychiatry, because I realized the missing link between mental health was nutrition. So mood follows food. So again, you can totally connect. If you're having any physical or mental discomfort, then you know you can use food to help you feel better.
And the name of your website, would you say, is Color My Food?
Color My Food. Again, the more color your food from nature, the more colors from nature, the healthier you will be.
Well, Diana, I am just so thrilled to have you on this show. I've always thought the world of you. She's so bright, but she's got the most wonderful heart, and she's helping so many people, and especially her information, for my purposes, is helping people navigate the new work world. So again, this is Deanna Galindo. This is Career Can Do. I'm Ann Faremouth, and we're glad to have you on the show today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
We thank you for tuning in to our Career Can Do podcast. We make no guarantees on results for your particular quest, but we hope you enjoy the information presented. Thank you.